Just checking that it's going, it's working. Yeah, I'm going to speak to Aiden in just a minute. We've found our way to Kerry and we're in Listowel at one of the happening venues in Ireland these days. It was Venue of the Year 2018 by Hot Press, elected by Hot Press. It's just steeped in history of the bands that have played here, and it's tiny. Sorry, it is tiny though, Aiden, eh?
Well, big heart. Intimate. Thanks, John.
It's fabulous. I just can't imagine. How many would be your capacity? 100
well,
people?
we work in 100.
Yeah.
We work in 100, so there's...
And it's a rock venue, eh? You're going to be bouncing around in here.
Yeah, well, it depends on the gig, and if obviously the pool table goes out for every gig, all the seats go out.
Of course.
But if it's an intimate gig, then we leave in half the seats. So normally we seat from here up.
Yeah.
So we have maybe 50 seated and 50 standing behind.
Yeah.
And the TVs go away and
of
stuff.
Course. By the time you get the PA and the rock band.
Well, the PA is now hanging.
Oh, there you are.
So thankfully we got a grant during COVID to buy a PA.
So I want to talk about that, just how the government helped you out through COVID. It seems like you got a bit of support.
Yeah, we had 2 or 3 grants where we put on gigs, and the gigs were to support the whole industry.
Was that online gigs?
Well, the first gig was the first grant was all online.
Yeah.
But it was to support the whole industry.
Yeah.
Sound engineers, light engineers, production managers, photographers.
Wonderful.
So everyone kept their bit in the band, obviously, and we put on support bands with every one of those.
And you put a venue upstairs. We'll have a look at that as well.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Yeah. But no, we did well. The grants were good.
Yeah.
But then they also gave us grants to buy equipment. So we put an acoustic system in, worth a lot of money. We went for the Rolls Royce. We wanted to do the proper ones, you know what I mean?
Of course you would.
And then there was a false ceiling here which we took away, which we were able to create a bit of height.
Yeah.
And we spent quite a bit of money on the lights as well. You know, so.
How long has it been going as a venue?
As a venue, it's March of 2015.
Okay, so it's not that.
Yeah, so I had a chance meeting with Paul Inhan from the Frank and Walters at Brixton Academy in November of 14, and I asked him to come play in my pub. It was just a pub. And where we're standing at the moment, the stage used to be the ladies' toilet that time. So we transformed. So that was the first gig. Frank and Walters, that was another iconic one. Hugh Cormack from the Stranglers.
Of course it was.
The Franks was a big one.
Yeah.
Scottish band, Complete Stone Roses.
That's Peter.
Andy Connor.
That's Peter Lambs.
Not related to me.
Peter Lambs, the manager, and his dad is the driver and tour manager, and he's Pete.
He's been here every time. Yeah.
Well, Peter, if you're watching this, you're not getting away with it again. I've just told them that if you're in the party, the Grateful Dead songs are the ones to get.
Okay, they're the ones.
So Mike the Pies, I'm going to ask you about the name as well. There is a story.
So my great.
We'll do that in a minute. We'll go over.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
Damon Dempsey was one of the biggest names at the time. You know,
so I mean,
to walk
between
in the door.
those 3, you've established a venue.
Yeah. Like the Minutes then were the band that kind of tore the roof down.
Yeah.
They actually tried to get up through the skylight, the drummer did. And that was when I'm into that kind of music. Do you know what I mean?
So we're talking. I
wanted to see.
So we're talking punk rock.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. There's a band here called Fan Club that supported the Frank and Walters.
Yeah.
And then they supported the Mighty Steph, and that showed what we tried to do.
Yeah.
They're there again supporting. But Fan Club did 4 support slots here. We built up their name.
Yeah.
And they eventually got 4 supports. They got their headline and they maybe sold 50 and then they sold out. But I suppose the most famous support slot here were when the Fontaines, that's what they were called that time, supported Hot Sprockets 27th of October of
that was last year?
4 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, they're huge now.
Now they're selling 15,000 tickets in London. And I know in Glasgow they sold out 3 nights.
Yeah.
They were in Edinburgh last night and they're back in Vicar Street for the next 3 nights.
Yeah.
But they've never forgotten us, and thankfully they've returned a few times. Like they came back This came back in February of 18. As you can see, it says the support of James McGovern, but James McGovern changed the name of the band to Murder Capital the week before the gig. Yeah. And Murder Capital potentially could be as big as Fontaines as well. Okay. Fontaines are now, they're a stadium band now, they've got so big, but they haven't forgotten their roots, you know. A couple of more iconic ones, Richie Ramone.
Yeah.
He was the second drummer from the Ramones. He recorded 3 studio albums. That's when he was here in 16, but he's been back here since.
Right.
Henry Clooney and Jim Riley from Siffical Fingers played here.
Nice.
Touts from Derry, great punk band from Derry. Nice. The Polecats, which would be Boz Boer, Morris's guitarist.
That sounds, that sounds like psychobilly to me.
That's what it is, yeah, definitely. Nice. So look, there's and obviously there's plenty more, you know, there's down through the year.
You know, and you just told me that Pete and Diesel are playing here.
Pete and Diesel are playing here next year, yeah.
Do people know Pete and Diesel here yet?
Not sure.
There'll be a Scottish word out about it.
They announced it last night themselves. I didn't know they were announcing it. Yeah. And I got a message from someone through the Mike to Buy's Facebook page saying, how can I get tickets?
I'd be very surprised if they don't take expats,
yes,
Scots crowd with them. Pete and Diesel are the biggest phenomena in folk music in Scotland. Yeah. I mean, they're selling out the Barrowlands now.
Yeah. I got a phone call last week about them. I hadn't heard of them, but they were compared to me like the Mary Wallopers from Dundalk.
Yeah,
and
party band,
Christmas,
huge party
and
band.
They sold out in 2 hours. So we'll see. So tickets for Pete and Diesel go on sale this Friday on Mike to Buy's website.
Wow. Amazing. Right. There'll be those at home that will just freak about that.
I'll confirm the date there, Shark.
You wouldn't get to see Pete and Diesel in the places this size.
Yeah.
So there you are.
So as you can see, it's still a regular pub, so there's a lot of.
So you do your bit for the local sport scene as well.
Of course. Yeah.
Have you got your own teams?
Yeah, well, the GA would be big around here, you know, so there's a lot of GA pictures, and the Celtic Soccer Club would be my own pride and joy as well. So.
Of course.
So you can see along here, there's some of the photographs of the customers with the bands down through the years. So we try and put up, rather than just put up the band pictures, we put up the customers with them. You know, so.
Nice. So let's talk about Make the Pies.
Well, this was so in December of 19, Fontaines came back after having 2 sold out gigs in Vicar Street. They came back as loyal as you could ever imagine, and played to 100 lucky people here.
Nice.
But the article appeared in Rolling Stone magazine. There's a picture from the stage. That's taken on the local monorail, and that's taken upstairs in my grandmother's kitchen. That appeared in Rolling Stone. There's a great quote here from Fontaines that if we were ever to stop playing Mike the Pies, I want to stop the band. It's everything I love about music. Lovely. So that's not a bad one, and that's just an article on the thing.
I'm going to mention the monorail again before too long. I dare say you come to Listowel, you have to mention that.
That's Mike the Pie. So that's my grandfather.
That's your grandfather.
My grandfather. My great grandfather bought the pub in 1907. My grandfather was one of 5 or 6 Michael O'Connors in the town.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to make meat pies for the family, and he became known as Mike the Pie.
Yeah.
And that's where the name came from.
It wasn't. So we are in Mike the Pies. This is Listowel, and we're in County Kerry, in the Republic of Ireland, on the Medicine Show Radio Stravaig. I'm delighted to meet Aiden. Tell us about your wall of fame here, Aiden.
During COVID, when we had nothing else to do, I started printing off a photograph of every band that played here, every support band as well. So got a lot of cheap frames and eventually started hanging them up. Now I'm not finished, but there's a lot of it here.
Yeah.
A lot of it here, as again, repeat.
You've done a few gigs in the time you've been here.
The likes of David Keenan here from Dundalk, who became massive, who did a support slot here, the Stripes fan club.
Yeah.
Susan O'Neill, who started as a support. This is a famous picture actually, because just before she got on stage, she caught her thumb on the car door outside the front. And you can see here that Podge, the guitarist from Ham Sandwich, who she was supporting, he taped the plectrum onto her thumb. Yeah. And she got on with it. And it's pure rock and roll.
Good on.
That's a photograph there of Fontaines when they played here as very young little boys. And this is a great photograph here of Fontaines actually watching Murder Capital on stage. That's one of the awards we won. That's when we won overall Edinburgh Vineyard of the Year. That's myself and my wife Siobhan with the Riptide Movement, who happened to be playing here the following night.
Nice.
So as you can see, there's a lot of variety. Woodburn and Savage is a great band from Derry. That's the Minutes. Declan wrote China Crisis, cult band from Liverpool from back in the day.
Cult band. That's great.
The Clockworks, who Alan McGee signed to his label.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago, and they've got bigger and bigger. They sold out here recently.
Good.
So during COVID,
here's a little Alan McGee story, right? And I'll send you the video of Pete Lamb, who I mentioned down there.
Yes.
It looks, his band Cousty with Alan McGee playing mandolin.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Well, he's not actually playing; he's miming.
Yeah.
He's doing the Rod Stewart faces, John Peel spot in the video. I'll send you that.
So during COVID, we got a grant to do gigs, and the restrictions changed, and we had to do gigs outdoors.
Yeah.
So the only outdoor space I had was my Uncle Michael's garden, flat roof that hadn't been used in years.
Okay, so your Uncle Michael was living here then?
So Michael was living, well, he passed away in 2010. But again, we'll mention the monorail because he's a mural here on the wall.
Surviving monorail, in the world, I think.
Yeah. So what we did was we were able to get 25 people here at a gig.
Yeah.
So the band took over this little space.
Yeah.
And we had 6 tables of 4 over here. We liked the weather, the good Irish weather. We put up a small marquee, and the likes of Belts, the Frank Walters, Susan O'Neill, Emma Langford, Turnstiles.
We just had to get imaginative.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, that grant was to help out the whole industry. It wasn't just in the bands. The bands got well placed.
And the venues, you were telling me, got together a little bit to help
Live
each
Venue
other.
Collective was formed during COVID, and venues like Connolly's and Collins and Cork and the Spirit Store and Dundalk and Dolan's and etc. We all worked together to apply for these grants.
Yeah.
To let the government know how important the music industry was. And it's not just about the venues or the bands. There's a lot goes with it. Cookies, our engineer.
Yeah.
He's a genius. We hire in the PA and Sullivan Sounds, and photographers. My brother was taking pictures and another were taking pictures.
Yeah, there's so much of it.
It was a collective effort.
Yeah.
So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for this. It's a treat. It's nice to be have a look backstage at some of the venues as well. You've got a green room here as well.
Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah. So it wouldn't be your normal green room. This would be my grandparents' kitchen.
We're in Listowel at Make the Pies with Aiden O'Connor in his granddad's kitchen, which is now the dressing room.
If you can zoom in this.
Wonderful.
That's what my great grandfather bought in 1907. You can see the 14th to the 1st, 1907. That's when he bought the premises. That's my grandfather.
So was it standing by itself in those days?
No, it was, and that's my grandmother who would have made the meat pies, Mary Mack, and he became known as Mike the Pie,
Nice.
So. Famous front cover of an album from Tindersticks back in the 90s. My grandparents weren't fans of Tindersticks. They're an Irish band, but that was the picture used.
Yeah.
That's the famous Maradona picture.
Of course.
But you can see some of the posters my uncle collected. He was big into collecting posters from films back in the day, and he had a collection.
So he had the bar for a while.
He had the bar in the 60s and 80s, up to the 80s. But he had a massive poster collection, and he donated all the posters to an art college in Limerick.
Really?
Yeah. But Michael was the eldest son.
Yeah.
I would say didn't really want to run the pub.
Yeah.
Had his own kind of world, and when he passed away in 2010, we found something upstairs.
Let's hope the internet reaches this far. Thanks for staying with us, guys.
So we found this room in 2010. The room was always here, but it was a bedroom when I was last up here. Yeah. And my dad got dead around for years, and when Michael passed away, he had his own personal life.
Look at this.
Up the top of the house.
Wow.
So what we did...
You got a wee guitar for us?
Yeah, because in 2017 a friend of mine, Pixie O'Gorman, came up with this idea of doing Mike the Pies Unplugged. So any band that played downstairs were invited up here to do a song acoustically, and we recorded it.
And is that, have you got a YouTube channel?
They're all near YouTube, yeah. There's Mike Device Unplugged.
There's a Facebook page and I've liked all that.
YouTube page, yeah.
Nice.
So, again, I mentioned Fontaines, they played Dublin City Sky up here where no one in the world had heard that song.
Yeah.
And then 2 years ago, Jack O'Rourke was here. He was going to do an Unplugged. He's a piano player, phenomenal piano player from Cork.
Nice.
And he loved the story.
Yeah.
So he said, there's a song in this, Aiden. So he came away, he kept ringing me and contacting me about stuff. And I'll send you the link. He wrote a song called Opera on the Top Floor. And it tells the story of my uncle running the bar at night. He closed the bar and he'd come up here and he'd go into his own world, listen to his classical music and his opera.
We're going to pick out a random, see what your uncle will say to us. And we have got Raphael
Wallfish, popular works for Celia. There you go.
For cello.
For cello.
So, okay, I'm going to take a note of that. And that's why we're going to sleep tonight, and we'll wish your uncle all the very best wherever he is.
So we did about 80 videos for Mike Device Unplugged. They weren't all filmed up here. Some were filmed, and kitchen bar out in the store.
Nice.
And stuff, you know.
And you'll be doing. Will you be doing some back to live music?
Yeah, hopefully. Look. Are here on the north.
Yeah.
The Mary Wallopers are 28.
Who are fabulous. They
sold out in 2 hours.
They headlined the stage I was working on at doing the Rabbit Hole.
Okay, great band.
And they were still jumping about even when they'd finished.
Yeah. It should be great crack.
Party time.
And then New Year's Eve, Silverback.
Silverbacks being
up the country. Yeah, great. They've played here twice. The roof as well, and they played in the bar downstairs.
So is that
yeah. To be my birthday.
Does it? Well, happy birthday next year. Splendid stuff. How about sessions and things? You do stuff like that?
Normal covers bands or just local covers bands and things.
So you'll live music, ticketed
2-piece or a full off band. Would have done Rory Gallagher, Tin Lizzy, Stones, the Beatles, the Doors, blah blah blah. You know,
so if I come back on Thursday, there'll be a band on Thursday.
Not this Thursday, not everybody. Because it's a bar at the end of the day, and we gotta mind the regulars as well.
Yeah.
Not everyone loves the music, you know, but they respect it. You know,
yeah. Well, fair play for keeping this going, and it's nice to have an actual venue. With a stage and everything as well on the circuit.
Well, and there's something different about what we can do upstairs as well. You know, so.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks again. Thanks for joining us, guys. Problem. That is Mike the Pies here in
Listowel.
We're down in County Kerry, not too far from Tralee, right in the coast. Beautiful part of the world. Pete and Diesel are here.
Diesel are here next year.
Next year, if you're planning your spring break, I would imagine that would be
the time to plan it.
If you're in Scotland. Well, if you're anywhere, actually. Come and see Pete and Diesel. And any of the other bands out here. Thanks again, Aiden.
No problem.
Thanks for joining us, guys.